Everybody bought these suckers over the last few years, lining up in those sales centers, filling out their worksheets, going, I'm going to triple my money in 3 years because I'm just such a genius.
I can tell you one thing that we could not expect is sales in the Toronto condo market. Holy jumping Jesus. What is happening?
Funny that we're starting with this, because even though people say we want to go coast to coast, which we're going coast to coast, they say we don't want to keep hearing about Toronto condos. But listen,
it is the epicenter.
Majority of people are affected by Toronto condos. It's just the way it goes. Everybody bought these suckers over the last few years, lining up in those sales centers, filling out their worksheets, going, I'm going to triple my money in 3 years because I'm just such a genius.
Yeah, it's called an assignment. Have you heard of it?
Have you heard of it? I'm going to assign the crap out of these things. I got four of them. Listen, we all fell for it. Everybody at one point thought that that was easy money. I wish I had done it back in 2013 when people actually were making money. But anybody who bought 2018 or later is, got some issues that they're dealing with right now, getting these things closed.
Could be.
We heard a rumor that, there's been some defaults, some breaches where
very reliable source.
Maybe not. That bulk condos are being bought by investment groups of various types. So, example, builders got 200, 300 units. They have 220 of them closed without any issues, but they got 80 left over that the buyers couldn't close on. They absorb those deposits and they chop off all 80 units to an investment fund to make it nice and smooth and easy so that that builder can close off that financing and move on to the next project. These things I think are going to happen more often. Whether it actually happened or not doesn't matter. Darryl's talked about it in the show. This is how this is a solution, right? Because remember, the builder's going to have their 20% deposit. So right away, they got 20%. They know what the carrying costs are of the debt. They know what it's going to be like in this current environment. This is just today's solutions, like November 1st. November 2024. You don't have a market right now. There is no way to sell those units. There really is not going to be a buyer who's going to line up, and you're going to spend all that time and resources setting up a sales center, trying to chop off these 80 units, or even worse, putting them on the MLS. And now you got 80 units in your building, and plus all the other investors trying to sell. It's crazy. So you go to one group and you say, hey, what kind of deal do you need to get? And we heard $800 a square foot for a reasonable location. But, there's going to be
murdering.
There's going to be a price cut, a nice big haircut for that developer. But at least he's got his 20% on the deposit side. Well, when you say murder, like, what were they sold at? 1,300, 1,400? They weren't sold at peak prices. No, so they already got $200 or $300 a square foot from the bill. So maybe they.
But you're building with peak pricing on costs, right? So you sold these things, you end up getting caught in this weird building time where you couldn't get anything and everything went up like crazy, right? And now nobody can fucking close on the units. It's a real mess, and like the basis of this mess and the real number in these stats. And I don't know how accurate it is, but they're saying that between new homes sitting on the market in inventory and resale condos, we're looking at 40,000 units for sale.
Yeah, condos,
which is a gigantic number.
50 months. So months of inventory, right? We're always talking about months of inventory. Now, the resale condo market, I think, is only 7 plus
it's only
months
like
of inventory
8,000 or something.
So you're not talking about a crazy months of inventory number when you look at the resale market. But this is how stats are, right? I mean, there's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics. Yeah, because obviously the whole point that the president of Urbanation is trying to make here is that we're not in a good position, because using the 40,000 unit as a metric and then also calculating how many units are being sold on the resale side and pre-con, right? Which in Q3, I think there was like only hundreds of them.
Yeah, a few hundred sales. It's like ridiculous. 532 or some stupid number.
532 stupid number like that. So it's like that's a super, super low number. So to clear out 40,000 units, at
that pace, holy shit,
take a really long time. And that's not to be, believed or anything like that. I wouldn't say like, oh my gosh, this is what's going to happen, because so many things. Yeah, 567 in Q3. So many things are going to change between now and let's say next year, right? So bottom line is though, and this is how I look at things. I mean, you guys can say whatever you like, but what an opportunity to buy condos. Now, I'm not saying go and buy condos as investments unless they are cash flowing. I'm not saying go out and buy any condo just because of the market. No, do your research, figure out what it is. But more importantly, if you're looking at moving from a house to a condo, right? That might be a perfect opportunity. And there's a lot of my clients right now who are talking about it and thinking about it. And I'm definitely advocating that right now is a good time to move from a house to a condo. And probably most cases, a couple I was talking to yesterday, that was their situation, would be to sell first, get a long closing, first go out shopping and looking at different options that you have, understanding the markets, looking at different buildings, seeing what kind of layouts you like, figuring out price points. You're going to see a bunch of units that you like. There's going to be a bunch of units in buildings that you like, in areas that you like, and then you'll figure out price points, reverse engineer it to say, okay, this is what I can afford. This is what I need to sell my house for. If everything adds up, and this is what makes sense that you want to do to change in your lifestyle, then I really believe that now is a good time to go from a house to a condo. I don't think that there's going to be too many good markets out there, because I don't think the freehold market's going to have too much steam in it. We got too many issues there, but right now it's got some steam, and I think that the condo market might get worse, but there's already a lot of options out there, and you can really put a beating on somebody if you need to get a good deal.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.